Hello YouTubes, this is my gorgeous southern steam locomotive, the Tennessean, that was gifted to me by Ward Watson a couple of weeks ago. I recently added a sound decoder, but I'm not super happy with the way it sounds. The bell and the whistle are okay, but the chuff chuff, it kind of sounds like someone smashing a garbage can down the street. So today we are going to hopefully try and improve that with a bigger speaker. I currently have two of these micro speakers installed in the tender, and they are actually okay for, as you probably heard, the whistle and the bell. They just have zero bass. So to do, I'm going to remove them. I'm going to add one of these. Here's a size comparison for you. Quite a bit bigger. Loksound, 20 by 40mm speaker. Haven't even taken this out of the bag yet. I don't think it's even got wires, but not a problem. Oh goodness, it's actually quite heavy. Look at that, proper speaker. So that is going to get installed that way, or is it that way? I'm not sure. Possibly in there. Let's take this apart and see where we can locate it. These two speakers that I have installed are just on with some hot glue, which I think is okay. I might do a little bit of research to find the best way to mount these, because presumably you still need some airflow on that side. Otherwise the speaker pressure doesn't have anything to work. I don't know how they work. Let's give it a shot. Take this apart first. Goodness, it was like 2 weeks ago that I did this. I've kind of forgotten how it comes apart. I think it's just clipped. Let's find out. I don't think there's the screws. I don't think these screws have to be removed. Does seem quite tight though. Yeah, I'll take out the front screw just in case. Don't think I have to take out the back one. But hey, I'm probably wrong. I think this is just holding in the drawbar. Oh my goodness, how does this come out? Aha, there's a screw behind there. You see it in there? Right in there, there's a little screw. There's no point taking that out, because that isn't actually holding the truck in. That is just well, it is holding the truck in, but then talking nonsense. Let's remove this. No, I can't. There's a bolt at the top of that one, so that doesn't help. I would need to get into the top to remove that truck. So we can remove that, and hopefully that will lift off, and then it just pops out of the front. So I didn't need to remove the drawbar. Okay. So there's my two little speakers. Hot glued in. I think they're hot glued in. Oh no, they're actually just using their own self-adhesive tabs, so that makes them easy to remove. And we can reuse them. Right, I'm just going to do a quick bit of research onto the speaker mounting, because yeah, I could just quite simply pop that in there, but that doesn't seem That doesn't seem right, I don't think. Wow, that's taken up a lot of space. I don't even know if we've got enough room, enough room there. Might need to relocate my decoder towards the back. Excuse me, I seem to have something in my throat. Back in a sec. Well, I couldn't actually find any videos on installing this type of speaker. However, what I'm thinking is, since these little holes with the tabs are obviously designed to screw it down, then presumably this section here goes against a flat surface and the sound is forced through the back and gives it a bassy sound out the back, is what I'm guessing. Now, I did notice there is no wiring in this whatsoever, so I do need to remove this. Solder on a couple of wires to these points here, there and there. Pop it back in. There's plenty of areas for the wires to come back out, either on the sides or at the ends, well, that end. So if we're coming out the end, it'll need to go this way, because there's only slots there, there's no slots at that side. So, need to solder a couple of wires. With regards to placement, let's take this out there for now. I'm thinking the only place it can really go is up there, which means this is in the way. So I am going to remove this, slide that whole white section back to about there, and then that should leave enough space for the speaker to sit in there. Okay. First thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to desolder one of these speakers, because you know what, I'm going to keep the other one. Get as much volume as we can, so hopefully all the bass will come out the big one. We'll keep one of the tiny sugar cube speakers, plonk it there. I'm going to cut this rear light out the way because I completely forgot to put a resistor on it and I blew the bulb as soon as I put it on the track, so I'll address that at a later date. We'll keep the wires there. So that's meant to be the reversing bulb, but you know what, another day. We're doing sound for the moment. This is supposed to be a nice quick upgrade. Right, let's desolder this one since I've lost all the stickiness from it anyway. Lovely. So these little speakers aren't bad. I might just need to make a little enclosure for them to increase the amount of bass we're getting. And we can use these two wires for our new speaker. Oh, let's see. I don't want to grip it. Oh, wait, I can grip it in the corner there. I don't want to grip it obviously on the actual speaker material itself. So let's stick it there. We can solder our new wires or our wires onto our new speaker right there. I'm going to just use a tiny bit of flux as always. One there and one over here. Lovely. We'll pop that back in his box for now. And we will send the wires out of those little gaps, those little slots there, shall we? Like so. Just push them down, make sure it's seated properly. Lovely. So that's ready to get stuck in the roof of the tender. Right, next up, I need to somehow remove this and slide it over that way a little bit. I think I just used a bit of hot glue, so it shouldn't be too difficult to remove this. Ooh, that was close. Don't worry, that's not a cut. Okay, we can basically just heat up that hot glue, slide it across there, stick it down there, and I think that will be enough room in that section. That's going to get positioned about there. Yeah, get this as far over as possible, basically. Right over to there. should be enough room for the speaker. Right, hot glue please. Actually, while we're waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up, I do actually need to trim this off here because that screw there is what's holding that post on. So if I put it all the way over there, then we can't get the lid on. So I just need to trim this back a little bit. And hopefully that's enough room there. That will sit a bit there. Do we still have enough room? Ooh, currently close, but I think we'll be okay. We do have a fair amount of height in this, but yeah, it's just going to squash all those wires down. Hopefully nothing gets filled. The other little speaker as well will go up there. There's plenty of room for that just to sit there. Might need a wee dab of glue in that, although it seems to be sticking quite nicely still. So that one will go there. As I say, there's enough room between that and that. Right, are my hot glue hot yet? Let's find out. So I'm going to just try and heat up the hot glue that's already there. Oof, goodness, it's well set. Oh well, another layer on top then. We want this all the way as close to that screw as possible without interfering. So roughly there should be okay. That should be alright. That'll do. That speaker's on. We just need to glue that one down. We're going to put that there. Just double checking again. Oh, that's a bit close. I suppose we could stick it right over there. I just wish I knew if this top section was supposed to be sealed or not. I won't go too mad with the glue in case it sounds awful and we can take it off and try and relocate it. I don't know. For all I know, it's supposed to go that way, which is possible. Should we try it that way? Then we might get wires. Nah, we might get wires touching, and then it'll make that annoying rattly sound. Now we'll go with straight down there, but I'm tempted to snip this section off here. We're not using that anyway, and it's just preventing us from going further across, so I'm going to snip that. I'll leave the other side on. We can use that as a sort of anchor, I suppose. So that will allow us to place the speaker closer to that wall there. Yeah, I think that's better. We'll get more room. So just a wee dot of glue around the edge, just to hold it in place. Obviously don't want it in the speaker surface. Let's try that. Oops. Oh, I'm making a gluey mess. Get glue everywhere except where it's supposed to be. We'll just put a wee spot down on that tab that I didn't snip off. Down there. Once that cools, that should hold it in place. And I think we've got enough room there to get the speaker down into this area here. Right, just give that a wee minute to set that glue. Yeah, that seems solid enough. Let's see if it all fits together now. I think the front kind of slides forward a bit, or maybe that's as far as it goes. making some creaky noises. Let's see if we can get this screw back in. This seems to be okay. I get my drawbar back on that I didn't have to remove. Oops. Lovely. Hopefully we can call that done. Let's get back to the track, see if we have improved it or made it much worse. I really hope this improves the sound, otherwise I've just wasted $20 on a speaker. Right, switching over to DCC. Let's try the bell. That's not the bell. The bell came on with a whistle. I think that sounds pretty good actually. Let's try the whistle. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Right, let's move it. Yeah, that's definitely chuffier. It is a bit quieter actually, but it is bassier. Just kind of what I was going for. We can always turn the volume up if we want. I'll get a wee bit closer for you. Not altogether sure it was worth the effort, to be honest. It does sound nicer. Maybe I just need to turn the volume up, that's all. Maybe I'm just too fussy. Maybe you can't even hear it because I've got a lapel mic on, but I guess I will review the video, and if you can't hear it, I'll need to do the whole thing again. Oh, I need to escape. I need to escape before it gets here. Quickly. Made it. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a nicer whistle. Let's bring it backwards. I really hope you can hear this, otherwise I need to do it all again. Oh, for goodness sake, I thought it would have stopped by now. I did set my CV acceleration pretty gradual. I go for realism. It's much louder when it's actually under load, and it gets quieter as it evens out. It's kind of cool that way. So you hear it getting quieter as it gets up to the specified speed. Like if I turn the volume up, if I turn the speed up, it'll get louder. And then when I change direction, like I just did there, it gets quieter because it's kind of coasting. Right, get back here. Oh, we don't have all day. I'm going to do emergency stop. Okay, I will review this video, hopefully you can hear it, and then we will have a little chat. Okay, I watched the video back. It's definitely a nicer sound, much quieter. Maybe it was just because it wasn't quite so high toned. So I think I will go into the CV settings, turn up the chuff, the prime mover, whatever it's called for a steam train. Turn the volume up for that. The bell, the whistle's fine. Just want a wee bit more oomph from the chuff. Leave a comment, let me know if you notice any difference or any noticeable difference that made it worthwhile, or should I just stick to those little sugar cube speakers, maybe make a little surround for them, and that would add a bit more depth to it. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's if you start adding $20 onto your installs all the time, then it starts getting expensive. Whereas those little AliExpress speakers were pennies, really. And they are quite decent, as it turns out. So, as I say, leave a comment, let me know. Was it worth it? Or will I never have to do that again? Although I do have one more speaker, which I'm going to put in my Rutland when I do the DCC conversion on that very soon. Right, thanks for watching. Not sure. Bye for now.